Now, unfortunately, this week I was not able to get my video out on Tuesday due to my room being squished inside a TARDIS, a very small one. But now I've managed to kind of fix the problem. Here's my review of Flatline. I liked episode 8, I loved it, so it's a shame I have to review the next one, as it's always going to be a step down if I find the one to be my favourite ever. For example, take the day of the Doctor to the time of the Doctor. That was an utter disappointment, but I was in the mood of the 50th anniversary, thus I was kind of expecting a disappointment for this episode, especially since it mainly featured Clara, a character who I don't care as much about. However, I do care a bit more about it because of the events of Mummy on the Orient Express making it seem a bit more fleshed out. However, this episode worked with Clara quite well. It gave her a character. It gave her things to do, things to react to, because usually we followed the Doctor through the adventure, but the Doctor is trapped inside the TARDIS. So we were able to go with Clara on this adventure, which kind of, it works for us because we're supposed to relate to Clara. So it worked mainly well just because the Doctor wasn't driving the plot forwards, as it sometimes happens. Clara gets her own companion when she decides to play Doctor, in the form of Rigsy. I think it's hard to understand, but I think it's Rigsy. And I quite liked him because he was probably, he was quite relatable as well, should you not find Clara relatable enough, which is fair enough because she's not been fully fleshed out yet in my opinion. But she's got some kind of character aspects now because she has problems with Danny, you know, she's lying to him. I'd like to see how that's faced in the next episode. And also, there was, she had to face the problems instead of asking the Doctor because she was wondering, oh, what am I going to do, what am I going to do? But she didn't know, so she just decided to do her own thing. She came up with a plan to save the Doctor. And the Doctor saved the day using the sonic screwdriver, which I don't usually like, but it worked, I suppose. It just worked because first they had to get the Doctor out of the TARDIS in siege mode, so it worked because they had to solve a problem in order to get to the sonic machina, or how do you say it? I'm really bad at pronunciation today. The Doctor scenes in the TARDIS were always fun because it's Peter Capaldi. Even though his hair went weird in the middle of the episode, my excuse is it just got a bit bored. I especially liked the bit with the classic door sound. That made me very excited for some reason. Ooh. Is this box getting smaller? Anyway, now on to another character. I've forgotten his name, which tells you a lot about him. It was the old man who didn't like the service workers. He was a bit of a mean guy, and I thought that was it was quite good. And my friend agrees with me that it's not all the good people are surviving. So like, ooh, this douche also survived, which is how life runs. So it was a bit more realistic, I guess you could say. It was less fairy tale and more like, oh, he always saved the day, but this guy's still a jerk. The 2D monsters were good. I liked them, and they used some good effects to them, especially the bit with the sofa being squished into the wall. I usually like prosthetic villains, you know, like the Mummy or the Teller, but for some reason it worked really well for the 2D creatures, probably because the only way they could be done is with 2D, unless you were willing to stop motion them, which would take a really long time, especially for a 45-minute episode. And the 3D monsters, the 2D into 3D, the way they're a bit like sketchy, kind of looking, with holes in them. I thought that was quite good, bit static looking. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the effect of the Weeping Angel in Time of Angels, where it comes out the screen, just a bit staticky, bits of it disappear, kind of thing. But yeah, hang on. This has gotten smaller. Help! Help me! Help! Help!